Greetings, my name is Simran. My candidate number is 0023. My center number is IN518. Over the last year, my groupmates and I have discussed the topic of urbanization and sustainable future. In this presentation, I will be looking at things in a more cultural point of view, whereas my group members will be looking at things in a more environmental and technological perspective. This presentation talks about how urbanization leads to a loss of culture in the forms of indigenous tribes, and how the loss of these tribes leads to a loss of a sustainable future. In this presentation, we will look at urbanization, the process of turning more into a city in a more destructive light. A sustainable future is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability to meet the needs of future generations. With the fast-paced world that we live in, actually attaining a sustainable future seems very difficult. Culture is the way of living, the general customs and beliefs followed by a specific group of people at a specific time. This presentation looks at culture in a very right light. Culture in the form of urbanization, is in the form of indigenous tribes, plays a key role in us actually attaining a sustainable future. So, what are the causes for the loss of these tribes? Urbanization plays a vital role in the loss of these tribes. Urbanization leads to politics, and politics leads to the mass destruction of these tribes, like it had in the US in 1992. Over 130 tribes were destroyed. If that's not enough, we could take a look at when in Tibet there was a mass destruction of over 6,000 monuments and multiple people were murdered. Politics has and will always be a key cause of the loss of indigenous tribes. Urbanization also leads to habitat destruction. Habitat destruction leads to a loss of these tribes, as it had with the Panan tribe. The mass deforestation on the lands in which the Panan tribe resided led to their relocation. We could also look at the constant relocation of the Rook tribe. Because of government growth and industrial activity, the people of the Rook tribe have constantly been forced to relocate. This has made them very hostile toward the outside world. Technological advancement also plays a huge role for these tribes to be hostile towards humankind and for their destruction. We could take a look at when in 1952, 6 missionaries tried to make a friendly gesture to the people of the Varoni tribe, but in the process they not only got themselves killed, but also tainted the tribe's beliefs. So, what are the effects of the loss of these tribes? There were over 6,000 languages spoken in 2007. However, half of those languages are no longer being spoken. When we commit ethnocide, we lose out on the mass knowledge collected by these tribes. The truth is, these tribes have knowledge that we couldn't even dream of having. Over the years, these tribes have collected and manifested vast amounts of knowledge. When we commit ethnocide, when we kill these tribes, we lose out on the knowledge collected by these tribes. We lose out on the knowledge collected by the Kofan. They have extreme medical and plant-based knowledge. They have created 17 different types of ayahuascas, a drug that is incredibly difficult to make. If that's not enough, we could look at the Varoni tribe. They can smell animal urine up to 40 paces and tell you which animal left it behind. If that's not enough, if that loss of knowledge is not enough, we lose out on the spiritual knowledge possessed by the voodoo acolytes and the Kofan and the Kogi tribe. When we commit ethnocide, we lose out on the way of living followed by the Vikings and the Sami and the Kinaras. We lose out on the way of living followed by the Baju. They can survive underwater. We lose out on the arts made by the Nagis and the Mumba tribe. As a history student, I realize how detrimental this loss of knowledge can be to our future. But that's just for us, the outsiders. What about the people living inside the tribe? What about the people of the Panan tribe or the Rook tribe or the Jawar tribe who have been constantly forced to relocate because of government activity. This not only makes them lose on their spiritual sense of self, but also makes them lose on their identity and makes them more hostile towards humankind. In the words of Wade Davis, there are different ways of being, different ways of living, and different ways of orienting oneself in society. When we commit ethnocide, the purposeful destruction of these tribes, we lose out on these different ways. Solutions must be found now. First, we must promote ethnoscience. Ethnoscience is a science of studying about different cultures and ethnicities. When we promote ethnoscience, we are purposely looking for solutions. We must have global solidarity and take issues faced by these tribes to bigger platforms like the UN. Only when we stand together can we actually come to a solution. Political protest must be conducted, like the Inuit had. In the 1950s, to show solidarity, the Canadian government had forced the Inuit people to leave their way of life, but they protested. And in 1999, they were finally given back their freedom. Now, they live on a land bigger than the size of California. Only when we reshape democracy can we reshape our future. This is my bibliography. This is the continuation of my bibliography. Thank you.